Hello students. Let's start discussing problems based on electric field. Okay. So there are certain questions where you'll see that they have given you some figure like this, a square or triangle. All right. So there are certain simple questions like say if A, B, C, D are given as the vertices of the square, and charge here at A, B, C and D is given as plus Q, plus Q, plus Q and plus Q. Okay, so at the center of the square, what is the electric field? So whenever this kind of question, where the charges are equal, okay, whenever charges are equal, and if they are equidistant, see from A to O, the distance is equal to O to B, okay, D to O, C to D. So these distances, say A or what actually that will become A by root 2. So for now, let us call it R. They're all going to be equal. And charges are anyway equal plus Q, plus Q, plus Q, and plus Q. So what will the electric field be at the center? It will be, see, let me show you. Due to B, the electric field is going to be in this direction. This is electric field due to B. So let me write due to charge at B matlab. Okay. What about for A? Here, electric field due to charge at A. What about for C? It is going to be in this direction. Electric field due to charge at C. Okay. And finally, in this direction, for D, it will be in this direction. Electric field due to charge at D. So what? So these values, this E, this E, this E, this E, they're all same. They're all same in the sense in magnitude. They're all same. What is that value? KQ by, here the distance is R, no? Between A and O, the distance is R. So KQ by R square. That is the magnitude. Now see, due to B and due to C, they are in the opposite direction but same magnitude. They'll get cancelled. Due to C and due to A, they are opposite direction but same magnitude. They'll also get cancelled. So what is the net electric field at O? E net at O is equal to 0 Newton per Coulomb. Okay. They may give you a triangle also like this. So if they give you a triangle, equilateral triangle say, and if they have equal charges, okay, so this is the second question, plus Q, plus Q, plus Q. So at the centroid of the triangle, centroid is what? Center of the triangle. What is the electric field? 0. Okay, let us say this is 1, 2, 3. So electric field at O due to 1 will be like this, in this direction. Electric field due to 3 will be in this direction. And electric field due to 2 will be in this direction. Okay. So this is electric field due to 3. Now see, I told you whenever we have three vectors, okay, whenever we have three vectors, see if they are forming a closed figure. Look or see, check, let us say check if these three vectors are forming a closed figure or not. What do you mean by that? See, E1 is in this direction. Okay. So let me draw E1 like this. What about E3? E3 is here. E3 is like this, but I can shift this E3 here. How can I shift? Because vectors can be shifted parallelly. This is called as parallel sliding. Vectors can be shifted parallelly. And what about E1? E1 is this. Okay, let me write their vector form also. So this orange color one is E1. Sorry, orange color one is E2 it is. E2, red color one is E1 and blue color one is E3. Are they forming a closed loop? Yes, see. If you start from here, from where you have to start? From where, say, suppose here you're starting. You're going from here, you're going this side, then you're coming towards E1, then you're going towards, E2. So you're forming a closed loop. So this E1 plus E2 plus E3 will be 0. So if three vectors are forming a closed loop, their vector addition will be 0. So here, what is the electric field at the center of the equilateral triangle? If the charges are plus Q, plus Q, and plus Q, the value is going to be 0. Okay, the value is going to be 0. Then we have these kind of questions where they ask you only directions. For example, plus 2q, q, okay, minus q, minus 2q. So at the center, how is the electric field? Direction you have to see. So see, if it is plus 2q and this is plus q, let us take one more, otherwise, let us do one thing. Let us take minus 2q, minus q, plus 2q, plus q. At the center, you have to find the electric field. Okay, let us call this A, B, C, and D. So at the center, you have to find the electric field. How will you find? See, for a negative charge, if you take a negative charge, the electric field lines will always go towards the negative charge, correct? The electric field lines get absorbed by the negative charge. For a positive charge, they go away from it. See, look at the arrows. They go away from it. Look at the direction of the arrows. So for a negative charge, so due to minus 2q, electric field is going to be like this. Okay, let us call it EA. E due to A. A means the charge at A, minus 2q. Okay, or you can put minus 2q also if you like, whatever you want. You should be able to understand. What about for minus q? It is going to be in this direction. Towards it. For negative charge, electric field lines are always going to be towards it. So electric field is going to be towards minus q. So E minus q. So 2q is greater and C, distance is same. From A to O, and O to C, distance is same. What is the value actually? Electric field due to a point charge is kq by r square. So OA, this distance, diagonal OA is equal to OC. OA is equal to OC. Distance from minus q and distance from minus 2q to O is going to be same only. What about charge? So for minus 2q, E is equal to k into 2q divided by what is distance? Let us call it r. Let us call it r only, r square. What about minus q? E is equal to k into q divided by r square. Which one is greater? Obviously, this one is greater. See, this is 2q, no? So that is greater. R square is same. Here k and k is same. What is greater? 2q. Here q is small. So that's why E minus 2q is greater. So if you subtract these two, you will subtract upper minus lower, E minus 2q and minus q. So the net vector will be in the direction of minus 2q. Okay, this is the net vector. This is the net vector. So let me show the net vector with blue color. This is going to be the net vector for which two charges? Minus 2q and minus q. Similarly, if you take plus 2q, so for plus, the electric field is going to be away. So at O, the electric field due to plus is going to be, let us take some other color, it is going to be in this direction. This is due to plus 2q. What about for plus q only? Opposite direction. Opposite direction. Which is greater? 2q is greater. So resultant is going to be in the direction of 2q. For plus 2 for plus q and plus 2q, resultant is going to be in the direction of plus 2q. Okay. Now for these two directions, you have to see the final resultant. So this and this, how is the direction going to be? The final resultant, see, these two vectors are joined tail to tail. This blue one and this blue vector, they are joined tail to tail, and they are equal in magnitude. The resultant is going to be like this, upwards. The resultant is going to be upwards. So if they ask you what is the direction of the resultant electric field, so you have to say it is upwards. They may give you direction like this. A may be like this, B may be like this, C may be like this, and option D may be somewhere else. So you have to take which one? Upward direction. Okay. All right, fine. Then you may have certain different type of questions also. Let us take one more. So if they give you plus 2 microcoulombs this side, minus 2 microcoulombs this side, say this is A, B, C. This is 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters. Find the net electric field. Find E net at C. How will you do it? Find E net at C. How will you do it? So see, due to plus 2 microcoulombs at C, the electric field is going to be in this direction. So this is E due to A. So instead of writing E due to A again and again, I'm writing EA. EA means E due to A for now in this question. What about for this one? See, it is a negative charge. For a negative charge, electric field is going to be towards the charge. So this is the electric field. E due to E due to B. Now, In magnitude, will these two be equal? What is EA equal to? K into 2 microcoulombs divided by distance is how much? 2 centimeters, r square. So 2, you have to convert this into meters first of all, right? So distance, if I call r is equal to 2 centimeters, convert this to meters, 2 into 10 power minus 2 meters. R is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 2 meters. That value I'm putting here. 2 into 10 power minus 2 whole square. Okay. Micro means what? Micro means 10 power minus 6. Okay, 10 power minus 6 basically. So what is the charge actually? So K into 2 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 4 into 10 power minus 4. Okay, 2 ones are 2s are, and this will become minus 2. So 9 by 2, okay, wait, once again, put the value of K. 9 into 10 power 9 into 10 power minus 2 divided by 2. How much you'll get? 4.5 into 10 power 4.5 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per coulomb. This is the value of EA. Okay, this is the value of EA. What about the value of EB? Same value only you'll get, just the direction will be opposite. How? K into 2 into 10 power minus 6, 2 microcoulombs, but negative. So that is why direction I've already chosen. See, direction is downwards. I've already chosen the direction. So that's why here you should not put sign. So k cube by what is r square? Again, same. R is 2 into 10 power minus 2. So r square will become 4 into 10 power minus 4. 2 ones are 2s are. This will become 10 power minus 2. K is 9 into 10 power 9 by 2 into 10 power minus 2. This will become 10 power minus 7. And this will also become 4 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per coulomb. Okay, 4 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per coulomb. Then what is the resultant? Now see, these two vectors are joined tail to tail. This angle, if I know, I can find the resultant. Magnitude of the resultant I can find. How? Using this formula, mod a plus b is equal to under root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. If I know this angle, then I can do it. So what is this angle? 60 degrees. Okay. If this angle is 60 degrees, if I draw a horizontal line here, then this half angle is how much? 60. Why? Corresponding angles. If this angle is 60 degrees, okay, then this angle is how much? 60. So this total angle will become 60 plus 60, 120. Total angle is 120. So this upper one is 60, below one is also 60. Total angle is 120. So if I use this formula to find the resultant of E due to A and E due to B, then what will I get? The resultant E net magnitude, only magnitude, is equal to under root of EA square plus EB square plus 2EA EB cos theta. Theta is 120. What is EA? EA is 4.5. So let me see, these two are equal in magnitude. EA and EB are equal in magnitude. 4.5 into 10 power minus 10, 4.5. So let me call this E and E. Okay, because they are equal, I'm calling it E and E. So you'll get E square plus E square. 2 into E into E is how much? 2E square. Cos 120 is how much? Cos 120 is how much? Minus sin 30. That is equal to minus 1 by 2. So you'll get minus 1 by 2. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So E square plus into minus minus E square. So this E square cancel. You'll get under root E square, which is only E. Only E. What is E? E is 4.5 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per coulomb. That's it. This is the value. Okay, fine. Next. So then we have equilibrium type of questions. Suppose say you have a charge. Suppose say we have some charge here. Say take some value. So 5 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs, and this value is going to be what else? So let us take 20 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, they are separated by a distance of 2 meters. They are separated by a distance of 2 meters. Let us call this A and B. Then where is the electric field 0? Where will the electric field be 0 in between these two? See, both are positive. If both are positive, electric field will be 0 somewhere in between. Okay, closer to the smaller charge. So let us say to this charge at a distance of x, this electric field is 0. At this point, electric field is 0. At what distance? X. From where? 5 into 10 power minus 19. So how do you find this? X is equal to q root under root q small under root q large plus under root q small into total length. What is total length? 2 meters. Here let us say it is L. So what is q small? Root 5 into 10 power minus 19 divided by root, what is this large? 20 into 10, 20 into 10 power minus 19 plus 5 into 10 power minus 19 into L is how much? 2. Total length is 2, no? Alright, so this will become under root, so let me write this like this, root 5 into root 10 power minus 19. You'll see why. Root 20 can be written as 2 root 5 into root 10 power minus 19, okay, plus root 5 into root 10 power minus 19. 10 power minus 19 will get cancelled, root 5 will get cancelled, of course there is into 2 here. So everything got cancelled. What is left here? In the numerator you are left with only 2, denominator 2 plus 1. So therefore what you'll get? Therefore you'll get 2 by 3. Therefore x is equal to 2 by 3 meters. Matlab from the smaller charge the distance is 2 by 3 meters. Okay. Then see, then they may ask you questions based on sign of the graph. Achha, one more thing, one important point before that. See, if you have two like charges, both positive, Q1, Q2, then electric field force will be 0 in between these two. Between means it can be here, but smaller to, so E is equal to 0, I'm writing here, electric field is equal to 0 for two positive charges, two like charges, otherwise, two like charges, electric field will be 0 for two like charges in between the charges. Between does not mean half. Between does not mean half. Between means if this is A, this is B, anywhere in between this line, here, 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 anywhere, it depends. In between the charges, closer to the smaller charge. Closer to the smaller charge. Suppose say Q1 is less than Q2, then it will be closer to this charge. This formula we use, x is equal to Q small by Q large plus Q small into L. This x is what? X is a distance from smaller charge only. Okay. And if we have opposite charges, plus and minus, okay, say it is Q1, Q2, if you have plus and minus, here also you can see, I told you if you have plus 2 coulombs and minus 2 coulombs, which charge is greater? Suppose say Q1 is equal to plus 2, Q2 is equal to minus 2. Which charge is greater? Both are equal. Magnitude of Q1 is equal to magnitude of Q2. In numbers, both are equal. Strength, both are equal. What is different? One is negative, one is positive. Their nature is different. But otherwise, in magnitude, both are equal only. Okay. So this Q1, so this is second case. This is first case. Okay. So what do I mean by this? See, whenever you have unlike charges like this minus and plus, then the electric field will be 0 on the left side. Maybe see if Q1 suppose let us take Q2, otherwise if Q2 is less than Q1 in magnitude, if Q2 is less than Q1, then the electric field will be 0 on the right side of the charge. Okay, otherwise say suppose Q2 or Q1 is less than Q2, Q1 is less than Q2, then it will be on the left side of Q1. It will not be in between. Either it will be on the left side or it will be on the right side. Left side of the smaller charge or right side of the smaller charge, depending on the charge value. Okay, fine. Next. Now suppose if they give you a graph like this. Okay, suppose say, so let us say this is Q1 and somewhere here we have Q2. Okay, Q1, Q2 they gave you like this, and these are, this is the vertical axis, electric field axis, horizontal is the distance axis. They gave you the graph like this, say. They gave you the graph like this. So what can we conclude about Q1 and Q2? What can we conclude about Q1 and Q2? So first of all, if Q1, we don't know the sign, okay? But just now we saw that if we have one negative and one positive, if we have a negative charge and one positive charge, okay, fine. Okay, q1 q2. Then if you join the line, in between there won't be 0 point. Either you'll have a 0 point here or you'll have a 0 point here. So where do you have a 0 point? You have a 0 point on the right side of q2. On the right side of q2. Yes or no? This is 0 point. No. If y-axis is the electric field, where is y point 0? On the x-axis. So this is electric field is equal to 0 point. Electric field is equal to 0 Newton per Coulomb. So that means it is definitely not positive positive. It is one of them has to be negative. Now which one is negative, which one is positive, that we have to check. Now suppose say that q1, let us assume that q1 is positive. Suppose q1 is positive. Then on the left side the electric field is in the left direction only. If electric field is in the left direction, the graph should be down. But is it down? No. See, why down? Because left side we take electric field according to sign. Left side is negative, right side is positive. Yes or no? Left side is negative, right side is positive. So if it was positive charge, then left side we would have got the electric field lines, and that would have given us negative value. For negative value, the graph looks like this. In this quadrant you'll get. But where did he give the graph? One second. So he gave the graph in the this quadrant, above quadrant. When will you get, say, if we consider this as negative, then electric field lines, are towards right side. The electric field lines are towards right side. Right side means what? Electric field, when it is right side, it is positive. So positive means which quadrant? This quadrant, which is given in the graph already. So this is correct. If it is negative, it is satisfying. This graph is turning out to be at the correct position only if q1 is negative. What else can you think of? If q1 is negative, see, on right side, region 2. So region 1, region 2. Okay, region 2, field lines are in the negative direction. See, left direction. Left means what? Left means negative. Negative means where? You get third or fourth quadrant. So this is fourth quadrant for this charge. So this is third, this is fourth. So in fourth quadrant we have to see. Okay, sorry, this is first. I'm sorry. This is first, this is fourth. So fourth quadrant you have to see. So fourth quadrant only we are getting a graph. Fourth quadrant only we are getting, no? This thing we are getting in the fourth quadrant only. Now, if Q2 is positive, it has to be positive. See, if we can prove that Q1 is negative, then Q2 has to be positive only. Why? Only then you'll get this graph. This graph or this electric field will be zero. If it is negative, positive, only then either here or here the electric field will be zero. Anyway, if Q2 is positive, let us go by graph also. If Q2 is positive, suppose if we take it as positive, electric field lines will be towards left. Towards left means negative. Negative means this quadrant only. So it is continuing. It is continuing like this. Okay, and finally, on the right side for a positive charge, the electric field lines will be in the positive quadrant. Okay, first it is positive only. Positive, positive. Then it will become zero. Why zero? Maybe this charge is so large that it is having this Q1 is having some effect on the right side of Q2. Q1 is having its effect on the right side of Q2. I showed you this example yesterday. So somewhere here, because of this Q1, the electric field is becoming zero. Okay, so we understood that this is negative, this is positive, and this charge has to be greater than this. That means mod Q1 has to be greater than mod Q2. So what are the signs again? So Q1 is negative, Q2 is positive, and magnitude of Q1 is greater than magnitude of Q2. That's it. Okay? Alright, next. So, what else you can do in this? See, I didn't, so if you have seen the, what do you call, other video of mine, in that you must have seen the derivation for a ring. So, if we take a ring, like this I'm taking a ring, okay, if I take a ring like this, it is horizontal, okay, it is on the ground you can say. It is facing upwards, so positively, it is uniformly distributed with positive charges like this. Okay, the ring is basically lying down on the floor like this. Okay, we want to find the electric field at this point. Which point? Say this point, we want to find the electric field. So what we should do first, decide the location of the charge. Suppose if I take this charge, so from here, the electric field. So, and let us call it dq. Okay, second step is what? Let us call it dq, and dq is what? Lambda dx. How? Because lambda is equal to dq by dx. Of course, it is equal to q by l. I'm just writing dq by dx. So dq is how much? Lambda dx. So this dq is where on dx length. The small length is where? Dx length. So at this point P, due to this dq charge, what is the electric field? dE. Okay, let us say this angle is theta. Let us say this angle is theta. Okay, and if I extend this line, this angle will also become theta, vertically opposite angles. So exactly symmetric point if I take this side. Okay, what will you get? You get another electric field here, but it will be same in magnitude, dE only, because it is exactly symmetric to this dq. So this is also dq, and that is dE. What angle? Theta. Why theta? Because it is exactly symmetric. So if this is theta, this should also be theta. If that is theta, this will also be theta only. So what are we going to do now? Resolve it. Resolve it. This, if I resolve this green color, so I'm using light green color. If I resolve this dE, this dE is being theta, so this will become what? dE cos theta, and this will become what? dE sin theta. Okay. What about for this dE? So let me use some other color. Maybe this. So this or not, it's very light. Let us take brown only otherwise. So this again becomes, see, this is theta now, this is dE. Again this will become dE cos theta. So I'm writing dE cos theta here. This value, okay, this arrow, this arrow, this arrow, same arrow, that above arrow, and this becomes dE sin theta. What will happen? dE sin theta cancel. See, we are just showing with two dq's, but actually this is happening with all the charges on the ring. All the charges on the ring will make dE cos theta, dE sin theta, and all the dE sin theta components will get cancelled. Then what will be left? Only dE cos theta component will be left. So what we can tell is that E net is what? Integration of dE sin theta, dE cos theta, sorry, dE cos theta, which is where? In the upward direction. What is the third step actually? Determine dE. What is dE actually? So dE is due to the small dq. So dE is equal to k dq by, what is the distance? Radius. Is it radius? No, 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 it's not radius. This is the radius value. Okay, this is the radius value. See, carefully check. This is the radius value, and if I call this height, suppose if I call this height y, okay, and this radius r, then what is this value? R square plus y square. That's it. So this r value, small r value, this distance value is how much? Under root of r square plus y square. That value you put here, r square plus y square whole square. How do you get this? K dq by r square basically. I mean, under root whole square, sorry. Under root whole square. Square and root will get cancelled. So dE will be equal to k dq divided by whole r square plus y square. This is the value of dE, small dE. Okay? Due to this dq. Now tell me one thing, if the ring is like this, of this point, the distance of this point from the entire ring means what? This, okay, so from here, if the distance is smaller, then from here also distance will be smaller. From here also distance will be smaller. Imagine this like a cone, or you can see here also. If I take a ring like this, okay, in 3D you have to imagine sideways ring. Okay, if I take a ring like this, then the distance of this point, say let us say this point, is going to be same from all the parts of the ring. So this part of the ring, this part of the ring, this part of the ring, this side of the ring, yes or no? It's going to be like a cone. Anyway, so what I'm trying to tell you is this distance r is going to be same for all the charges. This is also r, this is also r, this is also r. It is going to be same. Okay, fine. Small r, I mean, not this, not capital R, small r. Small r is what? This value, under root r square plus y square. So what is dE? dE is this value, see, this value. So what is E net? E net is equal to, put the value of dE, k dq divided by under root of, so not under root, square and root will get cancelled. So yeah, let's take this value, sorry, r square plus y square into cos theta. Now see, look at this triangle. With black color I'm drawing this, okay. look at this triangle. If this is theta, from that triangle, okay, let me draw it separately otherwise. If this is theta and this is small r, which is equal to under root of r square plus y square, this length is how much? Y, and this length is how much? Radius. That only, no? Then what is cos theta? Cos theta is equal to adjacent. Adjacent means this value, y, divided by hypotenuse is what? This value. That means under root of r square plus y square. That value you put in place of cos theta. Okay. I'm removing all these things. What should I remove? What should I remove? Yeah, this part let me remove. So this value I'm writing here, see, here actually. So E net is equal to k dq by r square plus y square. What is the value of cos theta? Y divided by under root of r square plus y square. Okay, so k, so let me write that. K dq divided by this into this will be what? R square plus y square whole power 3 by 2. This is whole power 1, this is whole power 1 by 2, so that's why 3 by 2. And this y as it is you have to put here. Now see, everything is a constant here. R square plus y square means what? R. It is constant. From this, for any charge, the distance is going to be fixed. What about k? Constant. What about dq? dq is variable, but y again, y is what? Y is the distance from the center of the ring. Constant. So take out all the constants outside the integral. Ky divided by r square plus y square whole power 3 by 2. You should take outside the integral. Inside the integration, what do you have? Only dq. Inside the integration, what do you have? Only dq. So what is dq? dq is some charge here on the ring dq. So dq if you add for the entire ring, if you add dq for the entire ring, what will you get? Total charge. Total charge is how much? Say for this entire ring, the total charge is capital Q. That's it. So k, this is y. Integration of dq is what? Q. So k, q, this y as it is I'm writing, whole divided by r square plus y square whole power 3 by 2. This is the electric field for a ring. So once again, let me write this properly. Okay, electric field due to a ring is how much? K Q Y whole divided by r square plus y square whole power 3 by 2. If the ring is like this. Okay. Alright. See, if you take the ring like this, in some textbooks, actually they'll give like this. So if you take the ring like this, and if they are asked, so if they are saying that the positive charges are distributed like this, so you have to imagine this in 3D basically. Okay, sideways you have to imagine. If this distance is x from the center, what did we take the distance as here? Here we took it as y. Here if we say it is x. From the center of the ring, if the distance is x, if we tell, then here also the formula is going to be same, just that, and the radius is say r, capital R only. Then kqx by r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2 it will become. Well, whatever distance you take from the center, if you took it as y here, you'll get y here. If you took it as x, you'll get x and x like that. Okay, so this is the value of electric field due to a ring. Now tell me one thing, if we take the center of the ring, like say if you want to find the electric field due to all the charges at the center of the ring, okay, at the center of the ring we want to find. So see, first we'll we'll try to solve it using the formula. At the center of the ring, what is the value of y? So if this is the center of the ring, look at this figure 1. If center of the ring, what is the value of y? Height. Y is what? Height from the ring, distance from the center of the ring. So when we want to find the electric field exactly at the center, y will be 0. for center of the ring, y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0 means what will happen? E is equal to kq into 0 divided by r square plus 0 square whole power 3 by 2. Whatever it is, when in the denominator we don't care about it. 0 into anything is 0. 0 by whatever is 0 only. So the center of the ring, at the center of the ring, what is the electric field? 0 Newton per Coulomb. Now, by intuition, see, this charge will have electric field here. It is having exactly one opposite charge here, which will produce electric field in the opposite direction. Then, say, let us say this charge, any charge you take this charge, suppose, okay. So, due to this charge, the electric field is going to be in this direction. It is having one charge exactly opposite, it will produce an electric field here. Yes or no? Due to this charge, say, the electric field is in this direction due to this charge. Due to exactly opposite charge, it will be in the opposite direction. Like that, and everywhere you'll have electric field component. Everywhere you'll have. Okay, like this. Everywhere you'll have. And they will all get cancelled. When they all get cancelled, what will you get? 0. Like that also you can think. This is much easier to think. Otherwise, through formula, you anyways can do it. Just put the value of y equal to 0. Why? Because at the center, there is no height only. I mean, we are looking for the electric field here. If you draw the ring like this, at the center, what is the value of y? 0. This itself is the center, no? Like that. Okay, fine. Next. Now see in the video, I've already given you this derivation that electric field due to a circular arc. If this is making an angle alpha, radius is r. Okay, then what is the formula? At the center, the electric field is going to be like this, downwards. For a positive charge, it is going to be downwards. For negative charge, upwards. See, for positive charge, the electric field is going to be in minus j cap direction. If we had negative charges, say, for example, so let us say if we had negative charges, then how will the electric field be? In the upward direction. That's all. Okay. If this is radius r, positive, electric field is in the downward direction for now, net electric field. And the formula is how much? 2k lambda by radius, okay, into sine alpha by 2. Important, you have to remember this. How do we use it? Suppose for a semicircle, take a semicircle. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Take a semicircle. Alright. Here the radius is r. Say the positive charges are there. Radius is r. So what angle the semicircle is subtending at the center of the semicircle, like this entire thing? 180 degrees. That means alpha is equal to 180. You should take. So this formula we are going to use. What is the electric field? E is equal to 2k lambda by r into sine alpha by 2. Correct? Sine alpha by 2. What is alpha? 180. So electric field due to the semicircle is 2k lambda by r. Sine 180 by 2 means sine 90. Sine 90 is how much? 1. So what is the answer? 2k lambda by r. That's it. We got this value today. Okay. If we take a complete circle also, for example, just now we saw the result. No, at the center. This is applicable only for the center. Electric field at the center. Electric field at the center of a circular arc. Circular arc or full circle also you can take. So at the center, so if there are positive charges here, uniformly distributed, because it is true only for uniformly distributed charge. Okay. So at the center, what is the electric field? So the one circle subtends an angle, how much? 2 pi at the center. Alpha is equal to 2 pi. For the ring or circle, alpha is equal to 2 pi. Then what is the electric field? 2k lambda by r into sine 2 pi by 2. 2 pi by 2. 2 cancel. Here also let me write properly, otherwise I don't know what you guys will do. 2k lambda by r into sine, what is alpha? 180 by 2. So that makes it 90 basically. Okay. Anyway, so 2 cancel, sine pi. Sine pi is how much? 0. So that's why electric field at the center of the ring is how much? 0. So for any circular arc at the center, you can find the electric field due to this formula, using this formula. Okay. Okay. Next, very important question. Very important question. Look here. Okay. Okay. So we got an arc here. Let us say this and this. Okay. Say now the question here is that the upper half, this upper half is positively charged and the lower half is negatively charged. The lower half is negatively charged. Okay, and in the question it is given that linear charge density of this entire ring, semicircular part, not semicircle, this entire arc, linear charge density of this entire arc is lambda. For the entire arc is lambda. Okay, then, and this is 60 degrees, this is also 60 degrees. What is the electric field at this point? You have to say, what is the electric field at this point? How will you do it? So just now we saw, if we take only this much part first, this brown color part, this above upper arc, you take upper arc. How much angle it is subtending? The upper arc 60 degrees. Okay, this brown color upper arc, how much angle? 60 degrees. So what is the value? E1, let us call it E1. 2k lambda by radius is how much? Say radius is r. Okay, 2k lambda by r into sine alpha by 2. Let us take some values also here. Let us say that the value of lambda is given as 0.05 microcoulombs per meter. 0.05 microcoulombs per meter, and fine. So E1 is equal to 2k lambda by r sine alpha by 2. Okay, so how will you find this value? What is this? 60 degrees, no? So 2k lambda by r into sine alpha is how much? 60. So 30 degrees it will become. Sine 30 is how much? 1 by 2. 2 and 2 cancel. We're getting k lambda by r due to this upper arc. Due to this upper arc. How will the direction be? Like this. Okay, direction is also going to be somewhere like this only. What about for this lower arc? Same value, but the direction is going to be downwards because it is negative towards it. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, so it is going to be somewhere like this, downwards. So what is the net electric field? Somewhere in between you'll get like this, somewhere in between. The net electric field is going to be somewhere in between. How do you find that? So let us say that radius here is given as 3 meters. Okay, otherwise we will not get in numbers. So E1 is equal to what? K lambda by r. What about E2? Due to this negative, same value you'll get, direction is different. So this is E2, E1. So E1 is equal to E2 is equal to E. What is the resultant? How do you find the resultant? If you know this angle, which will be of course how much? It will be how much? It will be equal to 120 degrees. Okay. How will you find this? So E1 square. So let us, E net is equal to under root of E1 square plus E2 square plus 2E1 E2 cos theta. But both are equal in magnitude here. So what will you get? E square plus E square plus 2E square cos 120. Cos 120 is how much? Cos 120 is how much? Minus 1 by 2. Okay. So this will get cancelled and you'll get a negative sign here. So what are you getting here? 2E square minus E square. So under root E square, root and this cancelled, only E. E means what? K lambda by R. So therefore E net is equal to K lambda by R. Okay, now let us put the values. What is the value of K? 9 into 10 power 9. What is the value of lambda? 0. C. This is 0.05 into micro. Micro means 10 power minus 6 coulomb per meter. 0.05 can be written as 5 into 10 power minus 2 into 10 power minus 6. This will make it 5 into 10 power minus 8. So this is 5 into 10 power minus 8 whole divided by 3. By 3, radius is 3. So 3 ones are 3s are, this is 5 3s are 15 into 10 power minus 10 power 9 into 10 power 8 is 10 into 10. So this is 150 watt, 150 Newton per coulomb. Okay. And any other questions that we need to solve? I think so many questions are good. One more, because this is related to charge. See, there's something called as electroscope. Electroscope. What do you mean by electroscope? So electroscope is a device used to check if there is charge on the object or not. Okay, it is used to measure or used to check if there is charge on the object or not. Okay, suppose say there is an electroscope like this. Okay, so inside this you'll have some gold, some leaves like this, right? You'll have some leaves. These are conductors basically. See, this wire is a so these golden, I mean, orange color things are conductors basically, right? So if they ask you, say if how do we, so suppose say they are saying that the electroscope is given, the electroscope is has been given positive charge. That means it has already been given a positive charge. Okay, so the leaves, these are called as leaves basically. So if there is positive charge already on the leaves, what will happen? They'll repel. Okay, they will repel and they will become, so they'll repel and they'll further segregate like this. They'll further move away from each other. See, if the leaves are like this, they'll move like this away from each other. Okay, now if if they if we get another if we get some glass rod, say, and if we touch it, okay, if we touch it, and if this further gets repelled, that means there was already a positive charge. Anyway, fine, this I'll explain you once again in detail if you have not understood this, but otherwise we have discussed a decent amount of questions. All right, and if you have any doubts, again, you can always get back in touch with me. So yeah, fine, all the best.